Kentucky. It's bonus play in Conference USA as the best face the best. And tonight, Louisiana Tech visits Western Kentucky. Eric Conkle had his Bulldogs as the first team to 20 wins in Conference USA this year. Fourth time in his 5 seasons they have won 20+. The starters, Amari Archibald, great shooter in his last 10, 44% from deep for Louisiana Tech. Matt Horton gets his first career start as a Hilltopper on senior night. A classy move by the fourth-year head man for Western Kentucky, and Rick Stansberry, who at home, 46-12. Almost 80% of the time he wins in this building. And he told us, even though he lost to begin bonus play, everything is the same for us. We control our own destiny.
No doubt about it. This is going to be a great one. La Tech didn't show up great the last time they played in this building. Very interesting to see how they start this game off, given their performance last time out.
No team in Conference USA has won on the road more than Louisiana Tech. But the Bulldogs haven't won here at Diddle Arena in over 20 years.
John, you can see Western Kentucky starting out that matchup zone. That was Louisiana.
Louisiana Tech able to get it inside, something you think is critical.
No doubt about it, and here's the deal. They don't want to foul.
Right.
You think about how easy that layup was, much too easy. Normally you wouldn't give that up, but you don't want to foul, so you do. But we'll see what the game plan is for Eric Conkle here tonight.
Western Kentucky doesn't want to foul because the Hilltoppers basically play 6 men. With 6 on the timer, Jared Savage, hometown kid, off the heel. And the rebound of Louisiana Tech. Near kickball there. Amari Archibald able to bring it up. Loading up. Derek Jean misses. Muhammad, the easy weak side rebound. In rhythm, Archibald swishes the triple.
Not what Western Kentucky wants to start the game off. Giving up a second chance points, a 3-ball nonetheless. They better get it in gear quick, because I'm telling you, La Tech from their shoot around, John, they came to play today.
Yeah, they were embarrassed in their trip here back on the 6th of February. Louisiana Tech just took down first place North Texas to begin bonus play on Saturday. 5 to shoot. Rawls, who went off the last time these teams met, hits rim and glass.
Talk about West Kentucky's ability to get into the lane. Jump shots so far. That's why they get to the foul line so much. Not the best three-point shooting team. So we'll see how that game goes on. We'll see how that carries out.
These are the top 5. 14 teams in Conference USA. It's the second year of bonus play. The top 5 get seeded essentially and play each other for the final 4 games. Then the next 5, then the next 4. Oh, what a nice look. Muhammad twirled and sink.
They've been reading my mind. Were they reading my notes as they get the ball inside? I think that is where they're the weakest, because they don't want to foul. See, Hollingsworth getting to the rim there. I mean, if you want to penetrate this Western Kentucky defense, you have to get into that paint, and you cannot be afraid to score.
And Mo Muhammad, who has a couple of easy chippies, made this one far from easy for Hollingsworth.
It's what they do so well. Hollingsworth, very crafty, getting to the rim, not afraid to take contact. One of the best free throw shooters in the league.
85%, top 5. And that's going to be a critical piece of this game tonight, as Muhammad subs out with a foul. They'll bring on Andrew Gordon. Part of the issue when these teams met last, the giant disparity at the free throw line, that's something a bit by design for each team.
It is a bit by design. Talking about La Tech, not great from the foul line. West Kentucky, superb. And we talked to Rick Stansberry today. We're like, Rick, what are you teaching them? And it's not anything they're doing special. As you see in that 1-2-2 zone, and turnover right away. It's what La Tech did not want to do.
Snap it corner, extra pass Hollingsworth, put it on the deck. Feed corner. Between the legs move. Rawls. Reset to Hollingsworth.
Just got to drive Coach Conkle crazy. They worked ad nauseum on how to counteract that press and to get a turnover the first time out. It's got to bother you.
Usual starter Carson Williams ready to sub in at the table. First time he's come off the bench all year, the transfer from Northern Kentucky. Derek Jean. In rhythm, Bracey, air ball on his first look, and it ricochets out of bounds. Hilltopper ball, and here is the first game off the bench all year for the second leading scorer and rebounder for the Hilltoppers and Carson Williams.
Yeah, I really love Carson Williams. He's a horse inside, undersized, but a gifted scorer, taking advantage of his opportunity with the superstar Charles Bassey out for the season. Right away, start with an action for him to rip it to the rim. He's one of the reasons why they get fouled so much.
Defender tumbles, Hollingsworth slices in the lane and rattles it down.
See, John, why that happened, they do that slicing action. You got to switch those screens. Hollingsworth's so gifted getting in there and finishing. You can't let these guys live in the paint.
And Louisiana Tech lived all day in shoot-around, working against this kind of pressure. What did you see?
I mean, the bottom line is you got to be able to throw the ball back. You got to have an outlet to throw it back and throw it up, and then you have to attack. You just can't allow them to dog you all game long. You got to attack that pressure and make them pay.
Powell opposite to Archibald. To see what you did there with the dog, by the way. Only 2 to shoot. Archibald heave at the horn. Shot clock violation. How does that happen?
Well, it happens because, as I say again, you start staring. That's why they run the press, the three-quarter court press, to get you off balance and get you on your heels, and to lessen the time on the shot clock. You have to be aggressive.
Rick Stansberry told us he employed the 1-2-2 after his All-American Charles Bassey was lost for the year, really to slow teams down. It's been a bonus that it's turned teams over. And here the foul to Derek Jean, his first, bumping Hollingsworth.
Well, he's so good at drawing contact. You know, he's not a three-point threat to save, so there's no reason to crowd him, right? Give him a little space, force him to shoot a jump shot. Again, just give him some room. Slide your feet, right? Corral him, and be ready to make him take a pull-up.
Williams giving up the size, trying to up and under. And that was altered by the immense presence of Andrew Gordon.
Yeah, good job there reading the scout report. Carson Williams loves to spin. Verticality rule, keep your hands up, and that's what they have to do all game long. Miss or make, just keep going inside.
A third chance. Gordon draws the foul. This is something Louisiana Tech had circled. Second and third chance opportunity. It's their second shot at the Hilltoppers on the road, and they're up 3.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Smile Direct Club, straightening smiles for 60% less than braces. By Rogue, don't weaken. And by AT&T.
The senior night activities, 3 players, Jared Savage, Cam Justice, Matt Horton, and Evan Stack and Jacob Hayslip, 2 student managers. 7-4, Louisiana Tech the lead. John Sadak, the former Texas Tech head man, and Chris Walker. Walk us through what this game shapes up as. What are your keys? What are you looking for here tonight?
Bottom line, you talk about for West Kentucky, the number one thing they have to do is they have to share the basketball. That's when they get 11 plus assists a game, they're pretty much unbeatable, potentially in this building. Also contain Gracie. He's been playing amazing and really contain the three-point line because they shoot well. For La Tech, you got to keep them under 40%. You keep them under 40%, they're unbeatable, one of the best defensive teams in this league. And here's the other thing. You cannot turn the ball over if you're La Tech. You see it from our eye track in the first game. They're coming with the trap. You have to be ready. The freshman Kobe Williams, he gets a little burst in the eye right there. And it's like, oh, I don't know what's happening. It's coming. Trust me. They're coming again. They're coming with the trap. You got to keep your composure. You can see Savage. He's shooting it. He's the interceptor. They're going to do that all game long.
I see how you went old school, keep your composure there. Rick Stansberry, who's been coaching a long time, told us he has never used a 1-2-2 until the start of conference play this year.
I don't know, Rick almost made me go back and watch some of his old Mississippi State tapes to see, you know, he's good with it, and he's an excellent coach, and I believe him. You know, when he was in the SEC, he had a ton of athletes. They played a lot of man-to-man and maybe a little bit of zone, but making the adjustment is huge. Losing a superstar, most coaches can't do that. He's been superb this year. And how about this, John? Almost second place. Not to say almost tied for first. They lost a tough one here to Charlotte. And without their superstar, still have a chance to win this league. Superb job by him this year.
Louisiana Tech has Caleb Ledoux in the game. He wears the white headband guarding Hollingsworth in the ball. He's probably the front runner for 6th man of the year in Conference USA. 8 to shoot. Savage releases. And Ledoux gets it.
Yeah, he's really been shooting the ball well. You got to allow him to shoot that catch and shoot type of player. 0 for 2 so far.
Western Kentucky is 1 of 6. If they don't hit shots, how do they pressure? And if they don't pressure, they go inside.
And that should be the main key for La Tech, is to go inside. And because, again, Carson Williams doesn't want to foul, and they're really playing with 5 guys, John. So if, Jared Savage, as we talked to Coach Stansberg earlier today, him going out of the game against Charlotte really cost them.
Justice out of the corner, lurking and sinking. That's what he does, a set, catch, and release shooter.
He hasn't shot the ball particularly well during the league, but a guy like him can get it going quick, fast, in a hurry. And the bottom line is you have to force him to put the ball on the floor. You can give him no daylight.
Now he's fronting the 1-2-2. Normally he fronts when they go 1-3-1. Josh Anderson, who has an injured toe and did not practice all week, we haven't seen him in the game. He normally fronts that pressure. And
that may cause them to not be as effective in it. But again, we're talking about Coach Stansberry. He knows how to camouflage things. And John, where's another basket going? Inside the paint. It's an emphasis credit. Coach Conkle for that adjustment from last game out. He said, hey, you know what? We got to do what's going to work.
Jacoby Pemberton gets it in. Kobe Williams ready to sub in. Justice off the bounce, gets stripped. And here come the Bulldogs. Day-Day Bracy trying to Euro, can't angle, and right there, Pemberton to clean it up. They are slaughtering Western Kentucky on the glass.
I mean, it's their Achilles heel. Hollingsworth's got to be a little bit tougher there.
Oh, and he brought the arms down. I think that might have been a no-foul contact until Gordon brought those 2 hands down, and he knows.
Yeah, he was very aggressive. You see him smacking his head there. I wouldn't want to be on the end of that. That's a big brother right there. You see Hollingsworth going to the rim with reckless abandon. As you said, John, coming down, the easy call for the refs. But you see how he was smacking his head?
Right.
You and I, we're frolically challenged. That probably wouldn't feel good.
And Hollingsworth has taken a lot of contact himself in the early stage. He's at the line for a second time. Multiple subs for Louisiana Tech, and Anderson comes in. So these are the first minutes for Josh Anderson, who was a participant in shoot-around today, but injured the toe on his left primary plant foot and had not practiced all week.
Yeah. Anyone listening to this telecast would know anytime you stump your toe, doesn't feel too good. And when you have to come out here and play at a high level and move around, you need rest, and we'll see if he's moving gingerly on it, but looks like he's moving pretty well.
And so is Louisiana Tech. Ledoux, acrobatic pass, but a hot potato that ricochets out of bounds off the hands of Muhammad.
You see Coach Conkle over there saying, slow it down, give him the hands, like slow it down. You beat it. Sometimes you got to know when you got to attack it, and sometimes you got to know when to pull it out. Ledoux getting a little bit out of control there.
It did seem like the pressure was more significant with Anderson in, though.
Yeah, he's long, he's athletic. That pass back and forth is hard to make. That lateral pass, and he just disrupts everything.
Hollingsworth, the one-hand snap. Nice look inside. Muhammad got too aggressive, and that's 2 fouls on Mo Muhammad. What do you do?
And they got some guys. They got to bring some other guys in. You got Gordon. You see who they sub and bring in to spell him.
Here comes Oliver Powell, it looks like.
They're going to keep going inside. That's what they do. You know, Coach talked about Carson Williams not being the main reason why they get to the foul line a lot, but when he gets it going, he's tough to handle in there as well.
Savage, he is a pure shooter, and he is off at the start. Kobe Williams, the free ball.
Yeah, don't look at that. And he's at home at any time. He can get it going.
Pemberton, all fired. And you wonder, there is that added twist. It's senior night for some of these leaders. That includes Savage.
Yeah, definitely an emotional night. Playing what could be your last home game in your building, but you got to keep your composure.
Extra pass, Hollingsworth off the jab, the contested jumper. A lot of selling for jumpers here.
Yeah, that's not what he does. He's a guy who's an attacker and tries to get to the rim. He's certainly capable, but it plays in the La Tech's hand defensively if Hollingsworth is shooting threes.
That's a hard fire, but the space down low. Look out, Chris.
Uh-oh, I almost got that one. Go, Gadget Arms. I wasn't part of the scouting report, I'm sure.
Josh Anderson's presence certainly part of it. So Hollingsworth gets a breather here. 20 seconds before dead ball means a media. Seems like a savvy move by a veteran head man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And here's the deal. La Tech just can't turn the ball. Those are senseless turnovers. You have to get a shot on goal. And they're being aggressive right there. Like the way they press, they're going right back at Coach Stansbury. Little chess match here. You come after us, we're going to come after you. Sometimes you got to punch the bully.
Rick Stansbury challenging his team. Some of the keys in their losses pronounced last time out in a somewhat surprising loss to a good Charlotte team that's under the radar some. Second chances, especially down the stretch.
Especially down the stretch. And credit Charlotte, and Coach Stansbury certainly did that. They made huge shots, but those second chance points kept them in the game. And how about this? Something that's uncharacteristic of the Hilltoppers. They missed crucial free throws.
Oh, Gene, what a sweeping look and electric finish.
Here's the deal. They don't want to foul, John. I'm telling you, that's the key to the game. Either you're going to have to take some charges or you're going to have to wall that lane off, because it looks like La Tech's game plan is to attack it early and often.
Williams surveys Justice, who's battled back issues all year. Anderson lost the handle. Kobe Williams. Ledoux alongside. Williams to the rack and the furious jam. He's got the highest vertical on the team. Sub 6 feet tall. He got 10 feet more. Wow. Williams was horrific when these teams met in early February, and he has the highlight of the game so far. The strip, the slam. You're watching March to March, presented by Smile Direct Club. Western Kentucky's signature win, December the 7th, against undefeated Arkansas. Charles Bassey, a season-ending broken left leg. But Tavion Hollingsworth and Josh Savage, they arrive, send the game to overtime, and they pick up their first home win over an SEC foe in almost a decade. And Charles Bassey, the day before these teams met in early February, had just dropped the crutches. Earlier today, lightly part of activities on the floor. He'll hit an underwater treadmill in the next couple of weeks. It's a long road, 6 to 9 month recovery for the All-American and NBA prospect.
I mean, as you can see, he's on every list that's imaginable. They need him tonight. How about that shot? They need him tonight. The way these second chance points are piling up and the way that they're just not doing a great job of boxing out and being physical. I've known that young man for a very long time, since he's in high school. He's a special kid, great student. How about that? Even while he's sitting out, and he's got a bright future, we're wishing him well.
He's got a 3.9 GPA, but La Tech leads in points in the paint, 14-2. Rawls in rhythm. And the three-point shot off, foul on the floor in pursuit of the free basketball.
Both teams are not shooting well from the perimeter. The difference is La Tech is getting into the lane, making point-blank layups. West Kentucky is going to have to get a little bit more physical, a little bit more active, and meet them at the rim. Because it's going to be hard to win if they allow them to shoot point-blank like that all night.
Tavion Hollingsworth, who went out at the 12:20 mark just before the media timeout, is back in. One number is building, though. 5 fouls on the Bulldogs, only 1 on Western Kentucky.
Isn't it amazing how they do that? They just do not foul, but they are down 18-9 here. So even though they're not fouling, we've got to see what we're going to do on the other end defensively.
There's another foul. Kobe Williams is first. So now, Chris, almost 11 minutes to go, and they're 1 away from bonus free throws.
They are 1 away from bonus free throws. I'm telling you, they put their head down. They drive the basketball. They have to make up points that way. But at the end of the day, La Tech is deep now. They can run a lot of guys in to kind of counteract the foul trouble. But once they get to the foul line, John, we've seen it time and time again, they're excellent.
They're about plus 13 points at the line at home this year. Hollingsworth with 4 on the timer. That's a tough shot.
That's a tough shot, but he's a trick shot maker. One of the best scorers in Western Kentucky history. He's had a tremendous career.
Louisiana Tech breaks the pressure, but now the offense begins with 20 on the timer.
Exactly, that's what you want to do. They call it a toothache press. Right, you just want to keep them on their heels a little bit and see what they can do with 10 seconds on the clock as they're getting to their offense, going to the rim.
They were denying that high-low, hard to Powell, 4 to shoot. Gene, that got hit, and a foul on Savage.
But John, that's the same foul that he was getting, Savage, number 2, was getting when they played against Charlotte. There's no reason to block a jump shot. Force him to make a shot over outstretched arms. I mean, look at how long Savage is. The chance of Gene making that shot is slim and none, so why foul him? Teaching point, do not foul jump shooters.
He'll get 3 shots. Now, Savage faced significant foul trouble, as you mentioned, in that game last time out. And of all their parts in what's a very thin rotation, he is probably the most critical, the man they cannot afford to get in foul trouble.
You're talking about a kid who's capable of getting 10 rebounds in a game, who's their best shot blocker, who's been on fire from 3, who's their emotional, silent leader. You can ill afford to have him sitting on the bench for too many minutes in any game, particularly, John, in these games.
Multiple subs for Louisiana Tech, including Day-Day Bracey back in the game, and Amari Archibald. Oh, by the way, those are their 2 best shooters, their 2 best scorers. They've been on the bench for a long stretch as they've built a 9-point lead.
Yeah, it's music to Coach Conkle's ears. And again, when you can play on the road against a team of this caliber, and you can do it with guys on the bench, that's a nice sweet spot that he'd love to have, particularly the way things happened the last time they were in this building.
Williams, the hesitant dribble, looking for help, curling Hollingsworth. Williams. There's a lid on that cup. Western Kentucky is 1 of 9 from deep.
But John, keep in mind, they're playing one of the best defensive teams in the league. Very athletic. And look at Kobe Williams slicing and dicing. Must be the hair, John.
He averages 4 a game. And playing like his hair's on fire. He's already matched that here tonight. He has pride, right? He remembers that last game.
No question about it. He's from Dallas, too. That's the other thing. You know I have to throw that in there.
We get the obligatory Cowboys.
Pay Dak.
Don't worry, we'll be at North Texas on the weekend. Gotcha. Rawls, 8 to shoot. Williams giving up size, the hard bump. The Louisiana Tech's bigs have been physical. Williams stumbles and still snaps the pass off.
That was tremendous physicality, playing defense without fouling Gordon. My goodness, Kobe Williams on the ball, chesting Rawls. They have come to play.
Now they're going to double the post here. Louisiana Tech right down the lane. Archibald. It is amazing how soft they slough off as a team defensively.
But you got to finish. That's right. The thing. You got to jump stop. You got to get your composure. You got to finish.
Oh, and Williams does just that. Perfectly timed on the putback and 1.
They just stay on the attack. Hollingsworth, number 11. They're just coming on the attack. And when you have to help by calling the proverbial hockey assist, even though that's a little bit different in hockey, when Gordon has to help, there's no one there to box out that big bull, number 22, Williams. He is unstoppable when you get him that close to the rim.
And that's 2 fouls on Andrew Gordon. Free throw good for Williams. So Gordon with 2 and Mo Muhammad has 2. So Oliver O. Powell, who only plays 12 minutes a game, but has started the last 3, he returns. Does that impact this game?
You almost want to tell, I don't know if it'll impact the way Coach Conkle will call his defenses, but I'm of the mind that he may want to play some zone, right? To protect his guys. Like the way Coach Stansbury switches it up, goes from man to zone, gives them different looks.
With 7 to shoot, Bracey to the left hand.
John, to see the way he sliced it, right? Cameron Justice comes over, slides over, rotates to take the charge. He just moves his body, maneuvers with the left. And Savage is just cold.
He is 0 for 4. Ledoux to the table for the Bulldogs.
I'm impressed with the pace of which has a travel there by John, but I'm impressed with La Tech and the taste. La Tech, even though they're on the hilltop, West Kentucky needs to get it going in a hurry. Mr. Bracey says, I got you guys.
You're watching March to March, presented by Smile Direct Club. Louisiana Tech up 10 at Western Kentucky. Sunday afternoon, 2 Eastern. The Hilltoppers are back on the court. They battle North Texas, only here on CBS Sports Network. So, with Cosmic Rays, you've anointed a fantastic 4. These are the 4 you think in the conversation for Player of the Year.
Yeah, they're my fantastic 4, the superheroes. Javon Jackson, how can you not like him? I've had a chance to cover him for fantastic scorer. Tavion Hamlet, Mr. Versatile, Tavion Hollingsworth. People are getting a taste of him tonight. He can do all types of things and at least score. And Daquan Bracey has not started cooking yet, but keep watching. Little Mighty Mouse with the left hand. This man is electric.
Keep one thing in mind, Chris. Western Kentucky has the ball here. 16 shots. 10 have been from three. Only one made. They only average 23-point attempts a game. They have taken a ton of threes.
But John, you got to give, again, La Tech credit. They're one of the best defensive teams in the country, the best defensive team in this league. And you see, once again, playing without fouling. And my God, from the D, Colt Williams. He must have heard me talking about how bad he was last game. He is avenging himself right now and playing like a superstar.
He is 3 for 3 from the field. He's already broken his per-game average, and he has darted down the lane with regularity. And Williams trying to muscle. Slipping past Powell, creative bucket.
Got to read the scouting report, Powell. He's coming back. He's going to bring your middle. He's going to come back and spin. You have to know that, but it's only 2. Leave him down there, and the number one thing is they can't foul. No more fouls. Force him to make a shot over your outstretched arms.
No Josh Anderson here. It's against Savage fronting the pressure.
And that toe could be acting up a little bit, John. Coach Stansbury said. And again, keep in mind, they got a few more games left, so if they can salvage some time here, they probably want to do that.
Bracey down the lane, and you could see the pullback there from Cameron Justice trying not to foul.
I'm saying they only have 5 guys. Right? And think about Josh Anderson's hurt, so I would keep going in that paint every single time. If they block it, they block it. Let's see what happens. If they challenge it, great. May get a foul. Right now, they'll let them get right to the rim and get a layup.
Diagonal give, timing off out of bounds. And remember, it's not just the big fella Charles Bassey and his injury. Western Kentucky was also hopeful that point guard and Lipscomb transfer Kenny Cooper would become immediately eligible. Just a couple of days after Bassey broke his leg, it was lost for the year. They got firm word from the NCAA, no Cooper.
Yeah, Coach Stansbury was definitely upset about that, and that's been the tone and tenor of what's been going on in the NCAA this year. Some guys get eligible, some guys don't, and it's affected some teams, and it certainly, to a degree, has affected Western Kentucky. But, John, I told Coach Stansbury, you win this league without Bassey and Cooper, you're the coach of the year.
I would firmly agree. Ledoux out of the corner, off, and perfectly timed. Pemberton with everyone flat-footed and watching. The bench erupts for the Bulldogs.
Now, I'm down with not fouling on drives, but you have to box people out. You got to put a body on people. That's a little bit different with not wanting to foul a driver going to the rim.
Largest lead of the game for Louisiana Tech, and Hollingsworth creative, leaning into Ledoux. He'll go back to the line again.
See Bracey's coming out here. You see Bracey right there coming off. He's going to throw it back to to Ledoux in the corner. And there he's coming right down the middle of the lane. No one there to box him out. It's just inexcusable. And as soon as the ball goes up, everyone needs to find someone, right? Tag him. Now, when they're playing zone, it's a little bit difficult because no one really has a man. But in man-to-man, you got to find someone.
Now, did Western Kentucky change its defense in the half court that last possession?
I think they played man. They played man, and they trapped Bracey, which put them in a situation where they were chasing them. But again, as soon as the shot goes up, everybody's got to find someone, tag them, and you just can't let a guy come unmolested down the middle of the lane like that for an easy tip in.
Now, Rick Stansbury says he has changed defenses more this year than any year he's been in coaching, trying to keep opponents honest.
You know what it's called, John? It's called coaching. That's what it's called. You got to look at your roster, and you got to find a way to win.
Now, Pemberton forced the high-low there to Powell, out of bounds. The turnover is something that Rick Stansbury's team forced with regularity. 15 of them when these teams met in early February.
Yeah, but I don't mind that turnover. Again, scouting report, throw it inside. They're not going to foul you. Continue to do it. They may even call a foul in that situation. Carson Williams, that's why you want to go at him, get him out of the game, because this guy can do inside, outside. You don't want this crowd to get into it.
Western Kentucky had missed 9 of its first 10 from deep. There's the second make. Could that spring the Hilltoppers on senior night? You wonder if that emotion is part of the wrinkle for the sluggish start.
It could be, as they're going to that 1-2-2 into man.
Oh, Williams, good job to jump it, tried to playground it, and he does. Gets it off the hip of Powell. He has come to play tonight. Carson Williams.
Coach Conkle not happy. He turned beet red there. He was upset with Pemberton. Wow. He's starting to turn a little bit. You can hear the crowd. They've been subdued up to this point. Let's see if the Hilltoppers can build on it.
Oh, Williams showing off the dribble. The lead. Anderson hanging, missing. Tip ball. Won by Louisiana Tech. Bracey, who's been eerily quiet. Archibald slashing end line. Crowd wanted to travel. He wanted a foul. He got hammered.
Yeah, they'll speed you up. This is the tempo that the Hilltoppers want.
Hollingsworth stripped, able to get it back. Justice, long load. One-handed rebound, Savage. Back to Anderson. Snap it corner, Hollingsworth. Three ball. Unanswered to draw within a couple of possessions. Tavion Hollingsworth, artful in getting to the line and able to finish. The dime from Anderson, stick the three, and the Hilltoppers climb within 6. Run for Western Kentucky to draw within 6. Tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern, it's Maction, hoop style. Kent State battles in-state rival Ohio right here on CBS Sports Network. It'll be the 138th meeting. There's a lot of rich history between those teams.
Yeah, Coach, you see Bowling Green up top. Mike Huger doing a great job of Kent State, Ohio, and then going into the MAC tournament. You already know that's going to be crazy. Can't wait to see it.
We know tonight the Bulldogs have been getting it done in the painted area.
With one thing for sure, you can't fool college coaches. They know West Kentucky doesn't want to foul. Coach Conkle, being an elite coach, says we have to go inside. West Kentucky, I get what they're doing, but at the end of the day, they're going to have scored some resistance. They cannot allow the Bulldogs to get in that lane all night long.
Points in the paint, 24-8 in favor of Louisiana Tech. And part of the puzzle, La Tech has only attempted 6 threes, making 1. Western Kentucky, 13 of their 22 shots are from deep, just 3 makes.
I mean, just the opposite, because La Tech is really a really good three-point shooting team,
right,
but they have not had to do that. Again, you have to do what helps you win. In this building, it takes a lot to beat this team. You got to follow the game plan.
Different defense here.
He'll zone again. Got Josh Anderson up top. There he's right inside again. They're doing an excellent job. Give Coach Conkle out of a timeout, throwing it to the corner and diving down the middle of the lane before the help can get there. Again, too easy.
Derek Jean ready to sub in. Hilltoppers could use some trips to the line. Williams trying to innovate. In and out. Pemberton coughed it up. Contact. And a foul on Savage. That's his second foul.
Now, you like kids playing hard, right? We have a thing we call fussle. It's called fake hustle, right?
I've never heard that.
Fussle, fake hustle. And you're Derek Savage, they need you in the game. Why foul 94 feet from the basket? It's just not a great player. I love him. Silent assassin, emotion leader. It's just not a smart player.
You know where my fussle comes? When you hit the exercise room at the hotel, and I pump the treadmill up just so I look like I'm going when you're there. I got my 45 minutes in, Chris. I'm good.
You've mastered being on the phone and working out at the same time.
Pemberton up top. Jean, who's darted in off the bench. Powell. This has been a war underneath with Williams. Rejected on help by Anderson.
Say, why go to the other side? Take your time, shot fake, and go through contact.
And Hollingsworth has come to play. Tavion Hollingsworth has been a one-man wrecking crew. He's got 13 of his team's 26.
And here's the thing, when they played the first time, they didn't need him. La Tech played that bad, but today, coming from behind, he's been really, really good offensively.
Oh, what a screen by Powell. Didn't see him on the cut. Bracey sweeps to the rim himself.
It was just patience, a little hesitation, herky-jerky there. Get to the rim. He's usually an assassin from the perimeter, but he's doing it getting to the lane.
Flat shot, Justice follows, feeds Anderson! You could sense he was cleared for takeoff there.
I think the toe is all right. What do you think?
And Louisiana Tech has dominated the first half. It sits at 6.
No matter what, if I'm Coach Conkle, I am elated where we are right now with a minute and some change.
Bracy trying to get cute. 2 on the timer off.
And even though he missed that shot, took tons of time off the clock, no turnovers.
How does Hollingsworth get the board? Justice all day.
Like shooting at the park. You cannot allow that to happen, John. That's the second time, a second chance 3. 3 by Hollingsworth, now 3 by Justice. That's why they're back in the game. Look at this crowd.
It's one of the best game atmospheres in Conference USA. 7 to shoot. Jean, contact on Justice. Bad pass. Turns it over. Timer turned off. Hollingsworth trying to Euro. Tripped up. No call. Loose on the deck. A shove not called. And the Bulldogs have it.
That was a foul up over there.
And Bracy gets hammered. No call. And now the whistle.
That was a lot of action. Wow. About 3 guys hurt on that possession.
Coming up, AT&T at the half. We need a breather here. Brent Stover, Colin Elamine in our New York studios. They'll get you caught up on a busy night in college basketball. All that and more coming up at the half. So Western Kentucky's been in bonus for a long time, but these are the first free throws in a while, and Williams will take them.
I mean, that went back and forth like a tennis match.
But instead of a ball, it was human body.
I know. I was trying to search for words.
Foul to Pemberton, by the way, his first. So Williams misses, and a lane violation.
On the road. Lack of concentration.
And they get Amari Archibald. Right side wearing 3. Oh, yeah, he's easily. He's boxing out before he's released the ball.
Wrong league. He thought he was in the NBA.
The lead sat as large as 14 for Louisiana Tech. With 15 seconds before halftime, it's down to 2 and a chance for 1 more.
That's why this team is so good at home. They just find a way. La Tech was cruising. Right, following the game plan, getting into the paint, making layups, and all of a sudden, a couple of mishaps, second chance points, shall I say, for 3s, and the tide has changed.
A 7-0 run that came after Western Kentucky's most critical player, Jared Savage, picked up a second foul and hit the bench.
In their matchup zone, look for a ball screen.
Williams, the prayer banker.
John.
The best first half of the freshman's young career, and a little bit of breathing room on a spectacular make.
A spectacular play. What time is it? The bank open. You got to call that one. Mr. Williams says, I am avenging what happened the last time we played in Bowling Green. That is certainly a good one there. Man, you got to call that one. Right off, I mean, that's just the way you practice it.
Yeah, leaning into somebody off balance. Banker,
man,
red light on.
Great half.
Coming up after the break, we'll catch our breath and we'll send you back to studio in New York. It'll be AT&T at the half. You're watching college basketball on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Bonus play is here in a big way.
The flat path is easy, but for the inspired, there is a spirit that kindles a desire to climb higher, to soar, to roar, to reach new heights. The wish to be a part of something more, to do more and to be more. Hilltoppers know that life at the top is worth the climb. Climb with us at Western Kentucky University.
CBS Sports presents AT&T at the half.
Brent Stover and Colin Elamine in our New York studios, AT&T at the half. Good ball game in Conference USA. La Tech leading 37-33. What stands out so far?
Well, they're just a more aggressive team in the first half. They're dominating in the paint, winning 28-10, and they're just being more aggressive than Western Kentucky. As we see, you're driving to the basket, finishing in the lane, high percentage shots for La Tech, and they're just keep on attacking the lane, getting high-quality shots. Their confidence is rolling on the road. This is how you want to start out a game on the road in the conference heading into the stretch run.
55% from the field, pretty impressive. You alluded to it, plus 18 in the paint. One other game to get to in Conference USA on this Thursday night, North Texas and FIU. The Mean Green leading the conference at 12-3, leading the league in field goal percentage, having shot better than 50% over the last 6. On this night, they would shoot 49%. So right there, off the miss, James Reese, Mean Green by 7. Umosha Gibson left wide open, hit 6 threes in the game. Under 2 left, Texas up by 18, and Zachary Simmons adding to it. All North Texas. The Mean Green take it with a final of 78-59. 80-71 as FAU beats UTSA, and 48-42 in the second half. UAB with the lead on Marshall. The race for Conference USA and a crown in that league is heating up. North Texas, a couple of games ahead of both teams we're watching tonight, La Tech and Western Kentucky. Colin, what has impressed you most with North Texas this season?
Well, these guys are the real deal. And what don't I like about this team? They're top 10 in field goal percentage. They're top 10 in three-point percentage, all right? They got 2 guys that can give you 20 on any given night with Umoja Gibson and Javion Hamlet. They get after you defensively, forcing 14 turnovers a game. This team is the real deal. If they can continue to play at a high level, you will see them in the big dance.
They were high level on this night with a blowout victory. Meantime, busy night in the Big Ten. We start with the Badgers and 19th-ranked Wolverines. According to Jerry Palm, Wisconsin currently a 7 seed, Michigan a 5, the 2 hottest teams in the conference squaring off on this Thursday night, and certainly a big one. Under 5 left, Wisconsin up 8. Demetric Trice drives around the defender, the up and under, 70-60. Xavier Simpson at the other end has an answer. Wolverines within 3, same score. Trice, hand in his face, doesn't matter. Drills the wing 3, puts the Badgers up by 6. This one coming down to the finish, and it is over. Wisconsin now 11-6 in the Big Ten. Michigan falls. They are now 9-8, 81-74 the final. Trice, 10 of 16, 5 of 6 from downtown. 4 assists to go with his 28 points. Xavier Simpson, a huge game in the loss. 32 on 14 of 22, 6 assists and 5 rebounds. So 7 points, upset victory for the Badgers on the road. Indiana taking on Purdue. Second half, Purdue up 11. Evan Bedreau, the pass, drills the 3. Travion Williams, midway point. Purdue up 8. Offensive rebound, stick back, then Jahad Proctor. Beautiful pass to Eric Hunter Jr., lays it in. Purdue a 46-33 lead at that point. 51-44 now. The Boilers at home leading by 7. Williams, we showed you in the highlight, he's got 17 to go with 7 rebounds, 15 for Eric Hunter Jr. Thoughts there on the couple of Big Ten games?
Yeah, it was a missed opportunity for Michigan to get a big win at home versus Wisconsin. If Simpson has to score 32 points, it's going to be too much for Michigan. They have to get more of a team setting, more of a team production. He can't score 32 points and they'd be successful. But a great on-the-road win for Wisconsin. Trice, he had a big night. That's what you have to. That's how you have to play on the road in the Big Ten.
So that's the story of the Big Ten on this night so far. Meanwhile, in the American, Wichita State entering the week as one of Jerry Palm's last 4 in hosting Temple. So the Shockers got to keep winning here. Up 4 early. Defense almost begging Noah Fernandez to shoot. So he does and rattles home the 3, 16-9. Later on, Quentin Rose, coast to coast, the Euro step and 1, made the free throw. Temple by 3. Monty Scott with under a minute left first half. Tough bucket and the contact. And this thing was back and forth in the opening 20 there. Early in the second half now. And the Shockers at home trying to get to 9-6 in the American and get to 21-7 overall, leading by 4. Trey Wade has 18 on 7 of 7. Perfect night for the Shockers. So do you like the Shockers' NCAA tournament chances? Because they've been riding on that bubble for the last several weeks.
Well, they have to continue to win games. If they can do that, they can get into the big dance, but it won't be easy. They have a tough dog fight tonight versus Temple. They play on the road versus SMU and Memphis, and they're back home against Tulsa. So if they want to dance, they got to continue to win games.
2-4 in quad 1 games, 6-3 in quad 2. Last 4 in is the projection at the moment. Coming up, we head out west, checking on Gonzaga. How will the Zags respond after their tough loss Saturday night? More AT&T at the half after this. Back on AT&T at the half, Josh Anderson's team is down 4, 37-33. His only bucket, he made it count, a dunk. The second half to come in Conference USA. West Coast Conference is next, 10 Eastern, CBS Sports Network. St. Mary's currently third in the conference at 10-4, 23-6 overall. They trail only third-ranked Gonzaga and number 17 BYU in the standings. About an hour from now, right here on the network. Another big one in the West Coast Conference is number 3 Gonzaga hosting San Diego. That one tipping off momentarily. The Zags in action for the first time since their loss to BYU Saturday, which ended a 19-game winning streak. Colin, what do you expect to see out of the Bulldogs looking to bounce back tonight?
I'm looking for Gonzaga to come out and dominate San Diego tonight. They have to send a statement to the rest of the league that, hey, we're Gonzaga, and you're going to have to play your best game to beat us. They lost to BYU, so they had a chance to regroup, but I look for them to come out firing on all cylinders, letting the conference know the conference tournament is the Zags.
Can they afford another loss? Like, let's say it happened against BYU in the title game of the West Coast Conference. What kind of allowance are you giving them if they want a 1 seed?
The only team that they can lose to in the West Coast Conference is BYU in the conference championship game. They have no other wiggle room to lose to any bad or take any other bad losses in that conference if they want to have the number 1 seed.
Carson Williams in our game, as you look at the resume, getting set for the second half. Williams has 10 for Western Kentucky. They are down by 4. What do we expect second half against La Tech here?
Well, they got to clean up the points in the paint. They're losing 28-10 right now, and they have to fight harder guarding the paint.
All right, we got that West Coast Conference game in about an hour, but second half in Conference USA comes your way next.
Thank you for watching AT&T at the half.
We are back in Bowling Green. Bonus play in Conference USA. The elite face the elite. Louisiana Tech a 4-point road advantage. John Sadak alongside the former Texas Tech head man and Villanova guard in Chris Walker. A 14-point lead at 1 point for Louisiana Tech, and the Hilltoppers roared back.
They certainly roared back and give this crowd, I mean, they got them going. And also the adjustments that Coach Stansbury made. And at the end of the day, they started making a couple of shots, turning La Tech, getting to the paint, turn that on them, and they started doing the same, and a couple of advantage threes, and they're here to play. This is going to be a game the second half.
And their star, Tavion Hollingsworth, who broke it down in a big way. Our pound for pound brought to you by Rogue Fitness. 15 points to lead the game.
Yeah, you see right away that's one of those kick-out threes from a second chance point, and he plays with reckless abandon, getting to the rim, poise. Didn't have a great one the last time they played in this building. Even though they got the victory, they needed him to come out with authority, and he has played well and answered the call.
Only had 8 when these teams met February the 6th, 15 tonight. And for those curious, that first meeting did take place here. It's a preset formula for bonus play that determines where the games go. These are the numbers in the first half. High disparity, shooting and in the paint.
I mean, here it is right here. That's the thing right there. 28 points in the paint, and then 55%. I'm sorry, West Kentucky may be in this game, but I find it hard-pressed to believe if they continue to shoot 55%, that they could come away with the victory.
A 37-33 margin. Western Kentucky, no stranger to deficits. Here are the Hilltoppers, 11-4 in league play. They have trailed in the second half in 7 of their 11 wins, and their 4 losses, 3 came down to literally the final possession of the game.
Boy, yeah, kids, and we lived every possession at hanging out with Coach Stansbury today because he let us know about every single one. But that's what happens. You lose some, right? You win some in tight games like that, and you just don't want it to come down to that. But when you got 5 players, it's just really tough for Coach finding a way to get things done.
Hollingsworth off, rebound to Louisiana Tech. Tavion Hollingsworth, Carson Williams, a combined 7 of 14 shooting in the first. The rest of the team for Western Kentucky, 3 of 14.
Got to pick the slack up. Some guys have to bring it, but those 2 guys certainly taking the shots. No slouch there. That's who you want shooting them, your 2 leading scorers.
And Mo Muhammad missed a lot of the first half with foul issue. And the kick and reverse, and Derek Jean buries the three.
Derek Jean, you just saw the look on his face like, finally, I got one to fall. They reversed the ball, a step-in three, the best three to take. Knocking that triple down.
Rolls bad, jump give. Here's Jean yet again. Surveys, patient. Go inside to Muhammad. Bounce kick. Jean, jump snap. Archibald all day for three. He's a red-hot shooter who has had a suspect start tonight.
Yeah, sometimes you're just too open, and he was wide open. No one within like 5 yards of him. Got to knock those down. Those are crucial shots. You're not going to get many of those against this West Kentucky defense.
Entered at 38%, in his last 10, almost 45%. He's 1 of 5 shooting tonight. Hollingsworth got a step on Jean.
Yeah, so good. You see the halftime highlights. He is so good at maneuvering, slicing and dicing with his body. Great finisher. One of the all-time best to wear that uniform here on the Hilltop.
I almost feel like we're in a 90s infomercial. He slices, he dices. Tip out of bounds. It'll be Bulldogs ball. And Anderson, some early minutes here in the second half.
Yeah, you've got to play him. You know, you don't want him to sit out too long. That toe gets a little tight. You got to keep it warm. And, you know, it's not, you know, you're playing to win. They're playing for something. It's bonus play, as you mentioned before. Every game counts.
Herm Edwards would be so proud. What a play by Anderson. From behind, using that length, able to tip the ball, 8 to shoot.
Yeah, just recovery. I'm sure Coach Stansberry got after these guys a little bit. I say, hey guys, I know that we're trying not to foul, but we got to pick it up a little bit more and give them a little bit more resistance.
This is a tough entry here. Pemberton, Jean. Muhammad showing the baseline range off. What a board! And second life, Pemberton. I was going to call it a force, but if it's a swish, it's good, right?
It just drives you nuts as a coach. You know, mano-a-mano, box him out, tag him, however you want to use it. Just cannot continue to allow that to happen. There's a physicality, attention to detail situation.
Oh, what a save by Williams, but it goes to Jean. Archibald ahead of the field. Tipped out of bounds. Alert transition D by Tavion Hollingsworth. The comeback that the locker room's not calling yet. Now, he has been fun to watch. And now you can feel the chippiness here. Pemberton and Savage a little bit.
Yeah, they're playing for something. That's what it is. I mean, hopefully that's what Conference USA wanted in this the pod play. And you get the top teams playing against each other. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, Jean on the drive. Offensive foul. The second on Derek Jean.
He just put his shoulder down. Justice, number 5, did a great job of sliding. Looked like he took the breath out of him a little bit there. Keeping his hands up. He's allowed to slide his feet. See, that chicken wing comes out right there, right to the chest. You know what I say, John? That's why they get in the weight room. You got to be able to take that.
Justice, though, was visibly wincing, doubled over. Remember, a bulging disc in his back affected him, had him out or limited for about a month.
Now, he's a key cog in the wheels of this program. And when he plays, it spreads the defenses, allows those driving lanes for Hollingsworth.
And there it's Anderson on the drive who draws the foul. And this is where the fouls continue to mount, right?
Right, no doubt about it. And, you know, it's not just the driving. It's also because they do a great job of moving the ball from one side of the floor to the other, and it forces the defense to shift. They get you in closeout situations, and you're chasing them, and you have to foul them to stop them from scoring.
Pemberton is second. Hollingsworth alone had more free throw makes than Louisiana Tech had attempts in the first half.
Talking about a superb job of just discipline and teaching your team not to foul. And there's our guy there, Savage.
And that's his first make of the night. He began 0 for 5, including 4 misses from deep. And Jean, that was tipped. That's not an over and back. Loose, Justice, tie up, jump ball. Cam Justice with a bad back. Took a fierce charge at one end and just tumbled on the hardwood there.
That's what it takes. Coach Stansberry on the floor is not happy. Cameron Justice, how about this? Talk about that press once again. Josh, look at Josh Anderson. Forget about that toe. He's giving it up for his team and gliding on that floor. That's what it takes when you want. You want to win a championship because that's what these guys are playing for.
Right.
They're playing for a championship.
Big sub for Louisiana Tech. Archibald, who's had the rough shooting day, out. Kobe Williams in. He was sensational in the first.
He was sensational. As soon as they turn it over, you see they put him in. I see what Rick Stansbury was upset about. He thought it was a kickball, and because of the jump ball, La Tech retained possession.
Bracy, who's been quiet, blowing off.
Ooh.
Travel. Is that a makeup for the miss?
I don't know. Bracy can't believe it, and Coach Conkle is letting Kip have it. He is not happy.
Travel?
Oh, yeah, James Harden. Come on. Come on now.
And we have an elite officiating crew. All three on the floor have worked at least the Elite Eight. Gary Maxwell, Bird Smith, and Kip Kissinger worked the Final Four for your Villanova Wildcats against Kansas a couple of years ago.
Hey, thanks for the plug. And Kip was the one that made that travel call. We've got to give him love on that one because that's an NBA move, and Bracy not going to miss many of those.
Oh, what a lead by Hollingsworth. Savage!
How about that?
And he stood there stone-faced knowing it was dropping.
You can't keep a good player down. Savage not having a great first half. He has come alive, the hometown boy.
Gene. Bracy in the lane, hangs and hits.
John, so smooth. Just hang, he just makes plays. That's what you need. You need a crowd silencer, and that's what Bracy is.
Snaps a 6-0 surge. Louisiana Tech led this game by as many as 14 points. Hollingsworth falling down, and the whistle. Tavion Hollingsworth has been brilliant.
He certainly has, and Mr. Savage being a savage from three. But these are my rims. I'm from this place, and there it is again from the behind the back. Looks like the three-point contest. Hilltops are coming.
You're watching March to March, presented by Smile Direct Club. Back and forth they battle. These teams tied for second place in Conference USA. Each just a game back of North Texas, which plays at FIU tonight. Bonus play came into Conference USA last year, and the gist of it is this. Before the final four games of the league, you get grouped into three different pods. 1 through 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 14. Even if the sixth team goes undefeated in bonus play, they cannot be higher than the sixth seed. So you're playing for seeding, and the idea is try to get more than one team in the NCAA tournament, try to improve seeding for who gets in the NCAA tournament, and maybe try to get some teams NIT as well. And North Texas clobbered FIU on the road.
Yeah, North Texas aware of the situation, and people thought that would be a game they would falter, and they took care of business. As far as the pod system, you got to give the hierarchy of Conference USA some credit. Like, they're trying to figure out ways to get more teams into the tournament. They got really good teams. Talked to Coach Conkle today. There's a lot of balance in the league. It's not just two teams dominating the league, and I think it's good because you get the top teams playing against each other, but you can get the other coach on the other side saying, yeah, but I would have won the league if I played the bottom three, if that was my last three games. So it's potato, potato. You can't please everybody. But again, kudos to the league for trying to get this thing figured out.
Foul there goes to Mo Muhammad. That'll be his third. And immediately a jog to the table for Andrew Gordon. Muhammad will sub out.
Just no reason to push up like that. Give him a little space. Just read your scouting report. He's a guy who needs space and time to make a three. Force him to, again, he's going to shot fake like that. There's no reason to be that close, but he's got to finish it.
And the size of Gordon bothered him there. Rick Stansbury wanted a call. Hey, you mentioned bonus play. One of the wrinkles, it does make travel more difficult, especially to some of the remote destinations in the league. North Texas tonight chartered a plane for the first time in recent memory for the program. Louisiana Tech for this game chartered a plane for the first time in the memory of anyone currently associated with the program. Ledoux twirling. That's off target. Pemberton the rebound. Trying to drop step the strong putback.
He's been really good on the glass. Pemberton has. Those second chance points have kept him in the game. And back to that travel. I mean, some of the elite programs of Power 5, they do that every single game. So think about what the commitment for these universities, which it has to be tough for the pod system. But again, credit to universities. How about that? Ledoux, timely three.
Ledoux does, and it's back up to 8. And part of the issue for Louisiana Tech, they're in a quarter system.
Yeah.
Academically, remember, these are college students. They have finals tomorrow.
So tough, so tough. Coach said, Coach Conkle even said one kid had one today. I'm like, is he going to take it?
Savage takes and misses. Another board for Pemberton. Bracey on the break. Kick Ledoux. Off target. Tap ball. Anderson's got it.
This crowd is into this game. They are waiting for the team to erupt. Good no call there.
Numbers for Louisiana Tech. The shovel to Pemberton. Behind the back. And the Euro. What a finish.
At the park, we call that old school.
And his teammates are mimicking him now as they're ready to sub in.
How about this La Tech group is fired up. What a game. The Bulldogs bulldogging their way back into the league. Pemberton behind the back. Nothing but net. There he is again, old school. Wow. How about that performance? La Tech on fire.
A 9-0 run, Louisiana Tech back up double digits. Headed your way next. We wrap up the night with an in-state matchup, St. Mary's Santa Clara, right here on CBS Sports Network. And St. Mary's profiles as a tournament team. Our own Jerry Palm has them as a 9 seed. Some big wins. They've taken down Wisconsin, Arizona State, Utah State, BYU. 3 wins in quad 1, 4-1 in quad 2, but they lost to Santa Clara first time they met at St. Mary's.
You're right about that, but credit Randy Bennett. One thing he does, and you talk about Conference USA, what they're trying to do with the pod system, they schedule hard. They go out and play people, and they're pretty dominant in their league, having to face Gonzaga twice, and I think BYU twice. Sometimes it's different on certain years, but they have been a perennial power in that league. And no one wants to see the Gales, trust me, in the NCAA tournament.
Hollingsworth and one. His dominant day on the drive and at the line continues.
You got to give Coach Stansberry credit. He draws up out of a timeout. He draws up action where he can get it and come off. They really not refusing the ball screen, but he faked like he was coming the other way, and then got to finish it. Ledoux's like, I'm not doing anything wrong. But the ref says, no, brother, that is a foul. Sends him to the line for the bonus.
Ledoux's got his second, and one is off for Hollingsworth. Here's the pressure from Western Kentucky. Louisiana Tech has handled it really well overall.
They really have, and they've done a tremendous job of just keeping their composure, running their offense, and making timely shots when they need to, because Western Kentucky has not quit in this game.
What an anticipation by Savage. No backcourt, but no possession exchange. Timer at 4. Ledoux, what a leave! And the two-hand flush for Andrew Gordon.
How about Ledoux sprinting that ball? And Gordon coming back with the smack.
It'll be Western Kentucky ball. The bigs have had a big impact for Louisiana Tech.
I mean, it's the key to the game. If you want to beat Western Kentucky, you have to pound them inside, and you got to finish, and you got to make your bigs be a part of the game. Even if they're not your primary scorers, you have to make Western Kentucky play defense inside in their interior.
If they had Charles Bassey.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. It would be really, really ridiculous what he could do. But I'll tell you this, man. I've said it again. Coach Stansberry has done a tremendous job without Charles Bassey. And there's our guy in. Justice, they need him too.
A brilliant lead there for Williams. Carson Williams having a really good game off the bench. Came off the bench because of senior night. Matt Horton got his first career start as a Hilltopper. Ledoux wide open. And it rolls away. Williams has it. Bad pass. Gene picks it off. Sprawling with contact and a foul. Andrew Gordon You can't teach size. 6'10", 250. Able to elevate and finish and change things defensively. You're watching March to March, presented by Smile Direct Club.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
Welcome on back. Bowling Green, Kentucky, 53-45. Louisiana Tech has not known a deficit. We revisit your keys. How are they shaping up?
I mean, the bottom line is La Tech keeping them under 40%. They're 14-2 this year when they kept their opponents under 40%. Looking good right now, taking care of the ball. They have to continue to do that if they want to have a chance to win this game. I'm saying 11 is the number for West Kentucky, but they got to pick it up a little bit more defensively and containing Brace. They've done a good job, but you got to give Coach Conkle and La Tech a lot of credit. He's continued to pound the ball inside. He's had a game plan, and they've stuck with it, and it's paid dividends for him.
Now, while Bracey hasn't scored a ton, he does have 4 assists, only 1 turnover. And with those 4 dimes, he is now the 5th man in program history with 500 career assists.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing, particularly a kid who can score the way he can score from B-Moore, from the other side of the world. He is getting it done in Ruston, Louisiana.
Different defense here.
And a little 1-3-1 action.
They recognize Archibald Kent Jean, the quick load, dribble.
You always hate to be the assistant coach that says, Coach, let's switch it up, let's do this or that. Now, that's what they normally do, but a wide open shot for an elite shooter. The old timer, Jean.
Does the stink guy normally go to that assistant?
Yes, it does. Throw the rock and hide your hands.
Oh, Williams, one-handed, able to fend off and shield with the left. He has had a really good game.
Yeah, he's had a really good game, and I'm one of those guys that believe, and they've had a history of that at West Kentucky. He's got a future in the NFL if he wants it, as athletic as he is.
Ledoux, end line runner off. Justice wins it.
That's what that pressing does. It forces you to take a circus shot like that. That's what they want.
Oh,
quick
clean
shot.
Strip. Mo Muhammad back in the game. This is more the primary group for Louisiana Tech. They've been on the floor together a lot tonight.
On the glass again, once again, just sprinting in there. Mo Muhammad just getting it done. They have just brought the fight. They are ready. They were ready to play. They knew what happened the last time they were here, and they were not going to let that happen tonight.
Western Kentucky needs Hollingsworth in the game to create off the bounce, right? They're a force and a turnover. It feels like this could be a fulcrum moment. Now, granted, the lead sat at 14. Western Kentucky sliced it to 1.
But keep in mind, this is college basketball, and at any given time, anything can happen. Ledoux with a couple circus shots there. He's got to calm down a little bit.
Ledoux bumped Archibald. He's had a sluggish start shooting-wise. Calls for the ball screen. Has Anderson. 4 shot off. Savage the board.
Yeah, they'd like to get a better possession there. It's not the shot. Even though Archibald is a very good three-point shooter, that's not what they want.
And the foul, Kobe Williams colliding with Justice, who comes up looking at his left elbow.
The entire bench jumped up from La Tech. They thought it was a charge. See Justice driving. See, move just a little bit. Can't do that. Just got to stay stationary. Good attempt, but no dice. It's a foul.
Justice out. Hollingsworth returns. Bracey's back for Louisiana Tech. Ledoux gets a blow, and here, look at the foul discrepancy yet again. 6-1.
It's almost like it magically happened.
Yeah. You just look up, and all of a sudden, bang, Hilltopper's on top and fouls in a big way. Williams, the double comes on high.
That's someone who's been very quiet as Rawls tonight.
Williams off the heel, and Kobe Williams, no relation, has the board.
Even though he can make that shot, La Tech would prefer that Williams takes that long 3 than to be mixing it up in the paint.
And Louisiana Tech trying to run some better offense here. Bracey snaps it corner. Williams, air ball. Out of bounds, Western Kentucky ball. And the Bulldog offense has fallen flat here, settling for more jumpers.
Yeah, and Kobe Williams, good player, having a great game tonight. Don't want to discredit him, but if you got Gracie, he's got to take control of this game while they have a lead, because you know at some point West Kentucky's going to get on a run. So when you got them on their heels, you got to keep them on their heels, and your best player needs to be taking those shots.
Instead of 25% outside shooter. Oh, Williams, artful move, changes right hand, and Kobe Williams cleans it up yet again.
His favorite move, spin move, just has to finish it. Give La Tech credit for not fouling.
Kick corner, 3-ball, short. Muhammad's got it. One dribble leaning into Williams, and he draws the foul from Carson Williams.
I think Archibald's just forcing it a tad bit, but give my guy Mo Muhammad just cleaning the glass up. A shot fake, get him in the air, take the contact. Just not boxing out. Williams usually does a great job of wiping the glass, not boxing out. Good patience there.
Mo Muhammad, who's improved his free throw shooting dramatically, 43% a year ago, a touch under 70 entering tonight, short on the first. And it's been ugly of late, Chris. Western Kentucky hasn't scored in almost 3 minutes. Louisiana Tech has missed on 6 of its last 7 shot tries, a lot of them jumpers.
A lot of them jumpers, but to give it context, think about it, they have 58 points with 8 minutes to go. The last time they played in this building, La Tech only scored 54 points. Right. Now they have 59.
Well, Muhammad gets a breather. Andrew Gordon is back in, so Louisiana Tech actually gets bigger with Gordon in the middle of that back line.
Just a very good defensive team, solid, know their rules. But you know, West Kentucky, they got one more run in them, trust me, in this building.
Williams didn't bite on the fake. Hollingsworth, a little short. Gordon just too much size.
And he's just a massive human being inside.
And he's setting the ball screen.
You know, sometimes you're watching NBA basketball and you're watching guys like this in the NFL. You just can't understand how big these guys are. And the little guy is the one getting to the rim.
And Gordon's size allows that, right?
Yeah, he's just so, you can't get around him. It's like trying to get around the Empire State Building.
3-ball. Off target for Rawls, who had the best game of his young career when these teams met on the 6th.
You see Coach Conco saying, hey, slow it down. Let's run some offense, run the clock. The clock is our ally right now. There's no reason to rush.
Pemberton eyeballing his big fella in Gordon.
I'm giving that ball number 25 and let him go to work and let him either make a play or get to the rim.
Oh, you called it, Coach. Changing hands. Are you around basketball a lot? I think you got a knack for this thing. Timeout, Western Kentucky.
Man. Bracy hails from Beemore, doing his thing, East Coast style, getting to the rim with the right. And he can also do it with the left. La Tech on top.
Eric Conkle, Louisiana Tech, looking for their 8th road win, the most in Conference USA. Mo Muhammad has been brilliant.
I mean, Mo has been on that glass, making plays. I thought before the game that they'd have to do a tremendous job of bringing the physicality in the paint. Anytime Bracy gets in, there's no one to box out that beast, and he's going to wipe him up, and he's going to score. And this kid here has come to play tonight.
Our player profile brought to you by State Farm. He has the smarts off the floor as well, a 3.57 GPA, industrial engineering major, and that has helped the loss of Isaiah Crawford, the outstanding freshman, lost for the year with a knee injury, suffered in the second half at UTEP January the 11th. He had been a regular starter. Eric Conkle told us it's been by committee, but Crawford's ability to pass surprised the coaching staff some, helped them against pressure. There's no better pressure relief than to just give it to the big guy and let him clean it up, right?
Yeah, no question about that. He's a guy who can be a double-double at any time, and he's done a really good job of just playing his role. Even though they lost Crawford, done a good job of playing his role and doing the best with what he can. There's a costly turnover right there. Out of the timeout, you see Coach Stansberry thought he had Carson Williams on the slip, fake screen, get to the rim. Good job by Louisiana Tech. Saw it coming, and they stopped it.
You mentioned the timeout. Only one left for the Hilltoppers, and Louisiana Tech on a 7-0 run. It feels like they can grab firm command. Kobe Williams. Oh, brilliantly timed, and Gordon couldn't finish it. And a foul in frustration, fighting for the free ball. Hollingsworth again takes the tumble.
Yeah, Kobe Williams thought he had the lob for the big fella, number 33, Gordon.
He did, right?
I thought he did, but at the end of the day, it didn't get done, so it's called a TO, a turnover.
And that's 3 fouls on Gordon. So remember, that is a big way that Western Kentucky, you can stop the clock.
That's right.
And you can slice into an advantage. 7 fouls on the Bulldogs.
Allows them to set their press up as well. And even though Louisiana Tech has done a great job of handling it, there have been some dicey moments where it looks like a turnover is just waiting to happen. And you know this crowd, a tremendous crowd here tonight, they're just waiting to erupt.
Western Kentucky this year has come back from big deficits. They were down 15 with 6 minutes left against North Texas, won the game. They were down 12, 3.5 minutes left to ODU, down 5 with 30 seconds left in regulation to Arkansas, won all those games.
I was here, I did the ODU game, and I still can't believe that Old Dominion lost that game. So anything is possible, particularly in college basketball, and also particularly have we seen in this building.
Louisiana Tech hasn't won in this building in over 20 years. Kobe Williams. Bracy wants it. Touch Kobe Williams all day. A career performance for the stellar freshman.
Kobe Williams has answered the bell, playing amazing.
He's got a career high 12, and he's a rebound away from his first double-double.
Bracy, senior, leaving the program. Looks like it's going to be in good hands with Mr. Williams.
A 3-ball swish from Cam Justice. It is senior night for these Hilltoppers.
You can't trade baskets. You're going to have to stop them, create some turnovers.
Oh, Kobe Williams again, denied, put back, no, Pemberton, friendly fire, rips it, chin and spin, and jump ball. It's going to be Western Kentucky ball.
Williams thought he had a layup. Good block there by Savage, the best on the team at that. That's all it takes. You just need a play or a spark to get this crowd going, to get the team going. They hit a 3 right here. I guarantee you the EAD will be on fire.
Hilltoppers 11-2 at home. They've only lost one league game at home. That was last time out to Charlotte.
You wonder if they're having some headaches from that loss, because they're just not the same team that we've seen in this building. But again, they've come back. But you know, you're playing an elite team like La Tech, you can't be down double digits. And here's the thing, with 5 minutes to go, La Tech does not lose.
Well,
they do not lose with 5 minutes to go.
And you got a Josh Anderson 3. He hasn't hit a 3 since January 25th. He hasn't even taken that many. He's taken 6 in like a month. They're settling for a lot of jumpers here. Oh, threaded pass, Muhammad. Justice has it.
She's got to win these next 4 minutes.
Savage from deep. Carson Williams.
What has been that second shot, second chance points. They got to, you see Coach Stansbury said, get up. We have to get after him and push the tempo. Hopefully they turn the ball over or shoot the ball quick.
And instead of fouls, Justice got the paw in there. That'll be his 3rd. Well, Carson Williams has come to play. He's got 14. He's been creative and efficient, but he needs some help from his friends. The Bulldogs dominating late. Let's take a look at tonight's Smile Direct Club transformative player of the game, Kobe Williams.
He knows that they're watching back in Dallas, and he had to bring it based on the way he played the last game. You got to call out with Kobe. He has played simply fantastic. The point guard position, as I said before, is in great hands as Mr. Bracy is leaving, but Kobe Williams, fantastic. I like the hair. I like it. I can't grow that, though. I mean, that's...
I'm with you.
Tremendous game, though.
Career night, and I think what underscores it even more, he was bluntly horrific.
Yeah.
The last time here. I'm not sure that we've seen a bigger change from one meeting to the next than what Kobe Williams from the first game here on the 6th to tonight.
But it's why La Tech is so good.
Right.
They have so many guys to step up, whether it's Ledoux, you got Bracey, whether it's Gene. Bottom line is you got a freshman coming off the bench and playing absolutely amazing against a team that plays great at home. Kudos to Kobe Williams and his effort to redeem himself on the road on national TV. Great job.
He's been brilliant. Louisiana Tech seeking its first win here in over 20 years. Archibald drains it with one on the timer. Just his second make of the game.
You got to give Mo Muhammad credit there. He drew the double team, kicked it out. He just won't stop, Willie. Tavion getting to the rim. They got to stop him, though. You can't trade baskets here.
Now, we asked Eric Conkle, do you think rebounding could favor your Bulldogs? Do you think that's something that you can take advantage of? And he said, we hope so. They're plus 15 on the glass.
It's against call strategy. I mean, you have to do what you do best against what they do best, and they've executed that tonight.
Bodies flying all over. Odd man rush. Hollingsworth, the nice lead for Savage. Anderson, sharp dribble. Lefty shot off. Poke to the heavens. Hollingsworth wins it. Hilltopper's running out of time. Carson Williams begging for the ball in the paint.
He's got a mismatch there with Pemberton. No way he can guard him.
Now he gets fed. Muscling in, and he draws the foul. So stop the clock. Back to the line.
They saw the mismatch. It was just a matter of time before they got it down to him, and he got the foul.
No, Pemberton has his third, and now individual foul trouble creeps some. 3 on Muhammad, 3 on Kobe Williams, 3 on Andrew Gordon, 3 on Jacoby Pemberton, and a lot of time left.
Just got numbers done. They got numbers. That's why they're so good.
Now Carson Williams at the stripe. Converts. Headed your way next. Wrap up the night with an in-state matchup. St. Mary's, Santa Clara, the West Coast Conference, right here on CBS Sports Network. And your long coaching career, you even have time there too. You've been everywhere, man.
I have been all over the place. You're right about that. Pepperdine University, LMU. I've worked in that league. That's a tough league. WCC Conference has gotten so much better.
Louisiana Tech able to fly up the floor. The foul to Anderson on the push.
This opportunistic attacking the press. Obviously, Western Kentucky, they have to really push it now and get after it.
So Pemberton to the line, 67% shooter. He gets 2. A bonus play is here. You play the other 4 teams in your pod. These 2 teams are in the top 5. So for the Bulldogs still to come, they have some big-time tests. This Louisiana Tech team that is the most road wins of any team in Conference USA. If they hold on tonight, it would be their 8th. This very veteran team will continue to be challenged.
And that's what you said. What's important is Bracey fouls Hollingsworth. Veteran. That's what you said. That's how you win on the road. You win with older guys. And here's the other thing. If they, finish this game off tonight, they would have beaten the top 2 teams, Western Kentucky and North Texas, on the road. Amazing.
And they still have home dates with FIU and Charlotte. And much like the Hilltoppers here at Diddle, Louisiana Tech at Ruston is tough.
Yeah, really tough. We've done a ton of games down there, and they get it going. And it's just one of those places where they don't lose very much either. Coach Conkle has built a little mini superpower. It's the reason why you have to create the pod and everything, because even coming to West Kentucky or going down to Ruston, no one will play these guys in this league because it's very hard to win. And that's what the struggle is, and I don't want to get too much into the weeds about, scheduling and why they can't get their net rankings up or why their strength of schedule is where it is. It's what it is in college basketball right now. Hopefully one day, John, they expand the tournament and we can solve this.
I think that day is coming, my friend. Bracey attacking Carson Williams. Day all night.
Yeah, Day is having his time, and a day, he is get to the rim anytime he wants. Oh, wow, might have got away with a foul there.
It looked like they got him in the act of the triple. The whistle does come. They're going to get Derek Jean here with his third. Here's what's up for the Hilltoppers. We'll have the game Sunday at North Texas in Denton, and then a trip to FIU.
Not easy.
The Florida schools, FIU and FAU, have upped their game in a big way. That's part of why Conference USA has more parity.
No doubt about it. And, you know, you're trying to figure out, and everybody wants the league to be good overall. No one wants one team dominating. I think that's, we saw the promo on St. Mary's. That gets us what helped the WCC. You see Santa Clara, you see San Francisco, you see Pacific, Gonzaga. They have parity in their league, and it helps. And that's what they want to create in Conference USA, and they just have to keep working at it, keep recruiting, keep getting better players. That day is coming.
The foul in transition. By the way, the prior foul was charged to 11. Pemberton, not 1 Gene. That means Pemberton's got 4. There's still a lot of time left, Chris. I know it's 10 points, but in college basketball, it's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time, but Western needs some turnovers. You know, they need to trap them. You know, just can't let them run the clock down. And as soon as they bring it up, you got to go after them and get a trap.
That last foul to Justice, his 4th. Double comes.
You need a steal. You're just letting them run time off the clock.
Why not foul a guy like Bracy, who's had a really tough free throw year?
I agree.
Pemberton misses. Savage has it.
I mean, you just get lucky there where they miss a bunny, and then you know what? I can't call it luck. Let's call it the middle. Like, for some reason in this building, they find a way to make it interesting.
Hilltoppers have rallied from many a gaudy deficit. We got a $1:22 to go. (72-65). Louisiana Tech has the lead. Western Kentucky just called its final timeout. Kobe Williams will sub back in for Eric Conkle. What's the dialogue in the two huddles?
And there's going to be a trap. If you're West Kentucky, trap. See if we can get a steal foul, no matter who it is. You don't have time to just allow them to peel time off the clock. On the other side is the bottom line is, to your point, do you foul Bracy? Right? What kind of shooter is he? You know, even though he's shooting less than 50% from the foul line, what is he in the last 1 minute and 22 seconds of the game? Or Muhammad, even though he's shooting better, do you foul him? Do you foul the freshman? Kobe, you're on the road. You're going to have to foul somebody. There's not enough time to let it play out.
10 fouls on Louisiana Tech, only 5 on Western Kentucky, so they have to foul twice to bring about bonus free throws.
But here's the deal, though. They get a chance to really go after him, even if they foul twice, really try to get a steal or a jump ball. I saw them do it against Old Dominion. They got like 3 jump balls in a row. If you can get a tie-up, even though La Tech has a possession, the next one will be yours. You just got to be super aggressive because you have 2 fouls to play with.
They were down 5 with 36 seconds to go in regulation. Beat an undefeated Arkansas team. They were down 12, 3.5 to go. Beat ODU January the 16th. Entry to Kobe Williams. On a career night, they don't foul him. He dribbles in. Now the foul comes from Savage. So remember, still no shots yet. That's 6 fouls on Western Kentucky. Savage has his 3rd.
Yeah, that's why you try to get a poke from behind. Like, again, you have one to play with.
Right.
You really get super aggressive with him. You may step out of bounds or something.
And now it's Archibald who gets fouled. Now, he is a great free throw shooter at 80%. He's probably the guy on the floor, if you're Western Kentucky, you did not want to foul. And these are the first of the bonus free throws for the Bulldogs. Rick Stansberry's team normally knows a big advantage at the stripe. That's been the case tonight. They are plus 12 in points at the line.
Percentages mean nothing. This time of the game, you still have to knock them down. These are what we call pressure free throws.
And Archibald drains it. This team, 3rd worst in Conference USA. As a team, Eric Conkle's squad 66% at the line, but Archibald is one of their greats.
Yeah, that makes you harken back to why not just foul right away.
Yeah.
You know, if they don't make free throws and you foul the guy who's the best at it.
And Archibald hits them both. Pemberton's going to sub back in with 4 fouls. And Bracy out. Why do this here?
I mean, probably protect. They need a bigger guy. They don't want to want him to go right at him. Maybe they don't want him to be in the game if they get to the line and they foul him. Who knows?
And Hollingsworth gets hit, foul on the floor, but double bonus. Stop the clock. And Hollingsworth goes to the line with a chance to tie his career high of 30 points. He's got 28.
See, Coach, I was going to say, who knows? He's going offense, defense. It looks like what he's doing. Bringing Bracey back in for offense, taking him out for defense.
And that foul to Kobe Williams, his 4th. So individual foul concern mounting. 111 in college basketball is a long time.
It is, but they need some steals. I mean, you need steals, you need stops, right? You need fouls, you need missed free throws is what you need. Again, Bracey coming back in. I'd foul him right away, or I'd foul number 24, Kobe Williams, even though he's had a great game. He's a freshman on the road.
And Hollingsworth at the line. He's tied his career high, 30 points, a dozen at the stripe. Here's Western Kentucky pressure. Savage fronts, not Anderson. And it's Kobe Williams.
You see Bracey running away from the ball.
They get it back to Archibald.
Now you got to foul him right away.
Letting time go, and it's Muhammad, who's far improved, but still in the 60s percentage-wise at the line. And last year was just above 40.
And again, you're talking about the last minute to go in the game. There's a different percentage. You know, it's worth letting a couple of ticks go off the clock to foul the right guy.
So here it's 1-1, and yet it looks like they're only going to have Gene mid-lane. And Bert Smith, our official, just a blue play dead. Over to the scorer's table for something here. And it sounds like a delay of game warning. Perhaps they're not getting set in the lane here.
Yeah, not sure what the call is. They're talking to the Western Kentucky players.
So Louisiana Tech only has one man, somewhat undersized Derek Jean there to rebound. So 1-1.
Well, the bottom line is they need to be back and set their defense.
Miss, easy board for Anderson. Minute to go. Not a great outside shooter. Savage is off the heel. Hollingsworth leaning. A career game for Tavion Hollingsworth. It's down to 5.
Gonna foul the freshman.
Kobe Williams. Diagonal, dangerous pass. Gene has it. He gets hit and fouled by Anderson. Now Anderson's got his 2nd. Now Derek Jean, a 64% free throw shooter, to the line.
I mean, it's take your pick, but you know, unless Coach Stansbury is saying, hey, wait, let's see if we can get a steal, then foul. Still plenty of time. In 43 seconds is an attorney right now. The clock is not moving, and we'll see if he makes these free throws.
Last of the 1-and-1s. That's 9 fouls at Western Kentucky, and Gene hits the 1st. So it'll be 2 shots rest of the way for both teams.
I mean, think about it. If he doesn't make this free throw and they come down and shoot a 3, it's a 1-possession game. Things change very quickly in college basketball. Gene knocks it down.
Western Kentucky is exhausted its timeouts. So Pemberton back in, Bracey out. They've made this switch a few times here.
Yeah, the offense, defense. Want Kobe Williams in the better defender.
Here's Hollingsworth, who is brilliant at getting to the line. Hollingsworth feeds Carson Williams. Savage, contested 3.
Wow, how about that? I saw it coming.
Savage fronts. Pemberton back to Archibald, their best shooter. And the foul comes to Jared Savage with his 4th.
Don, you just know that they're going to find a way to make it interesting. And dare I say, this game is not over. You got to still watch, even though Savage fouls out.
Well, Savage indeed is 5th. He is done. So in for him is Jordan Rawls, who has struggled mightily from outside in the last few weeks and has not had a great night.
Well, he couldn't build on that outstanding performance he had the first time that these guys played. Archibald with 2 critical ones.
80% shooter, hits the 1st.
Ice in his veins, just knocking him down. That's 3 in a row now.
The last time these teams met, no Bulldog finished in double figures. Here's Archibald to become the 5th Bulldog tonight with double-digit points.
And credit Coach Conkle. He had his team prepared to play. Game's not over yet, but they have answered the bell, calls a timeout to set his defense up.
So Eric Conkle calls the TO. The final 27+ seconds. 6-point game. Back in Bowling Green, for those of you tuning in for St. Mary, Santa Clara, you'll find it online, cbssports.com/CBSSN as soon as it tips off. And of course, we'll get you out there immediately after this game wraps up. Louisiana Tech by 6 out of a Bulldogs called timeout. Western Kentucky length of the floor.
And they're going to come straight at you, try to get it to Justice, see if they get another 3.
Rolls without a make on the game. Time fading. Hollingsworth, the deep 3. Even he couldn't believe it. Kobe Williams foul, and the freshman to the line. If he hits even one of these 2, he makes it a 2-possession game.
The comeback kids, man. John, I'm sorry. You got to call that. That's almost from mid-court. From the towel. Wow.
Big
pressure on the freshman.
Free throws here. It's been a career night, a redemptive night for Kobe Williams. And he hits the first. And that's a huge free throw.
He came to play tonight. Coming out party for him. Rawls had his coming out party as a freshman the last time they played. Kobe Williams coming up big.
Bracy to the table, ready to sub in. Rolls away to Anderson.
Oh,
the clock didn't start. Whistle came, so no time off the clock with the foul.
Whoa, my God. What was Mo Muhammad? You even ask yourself, not to question Coach Conkle, but why even have anybody on the line?
Right.
Get everybody off the line so that does not happen.
And to that point, when Muhammad was at the line, a not great free throw shooter, they had one undersized guard there.
There's just no reason to have anyone there. Get back. You call the time, but get back, set your defense up. Wow.
So here's Josh Anderson, 77%, top 15 in the league. Connects. Is there any part of you thinking of missing this?
No, you're going to make it. You're going to trap. You're going to foul. I just would not foul if I can. You don't foul anyone. Archibald's the guy you don't want to foul, and he's taking it out, so you don't have to foul him. So if I was Coach Conkle, after this timeout, I would make sure that Archibald was the guy that got the ball.
Well, Bracy's going to sub back in, and we get the timeout from the Bulldogs. We'll take one as well. You knew it would come down to the end. A 2-point tilt in Bowling Green. A tightrope walk in Conference USA. Out of town, St. Mary, Santa Clara. It's underway. It's now available. CBSSports.com/CBSSN. We'll get you out there as soon as this one wraps up. Out of a Louisiana Tech call timeout, their best free throw shooter inbounds with 14 seconds to go.
Yeah, I'm saying it's not in well sometimes. You know, you might want to foul Bracy. The freshman, Williams has just missed one.
Entry to Ledoux, who was subbed in. They're trying to foul. They can't get it. And now Gene gets hit. They lost a good 2.5 seconds there.
Well, yeah, I don't think Coach Stansbury wanted them to foul Ledoux. I think he wanted them to foul Gene because he was clapping, saying, good job.
Well, Gene's a 64% shooter. Ledoux at 81%.
There you go. He's much smarter than us, John. Much smarter than us.
Now, Western Kentucky is going to put Jeremiah Gambrell in for the first time all game. Is this just to give fouls here? As the foul to Justice there, he is fouled out.
Yeah, I was going to say bodies. Gene has to knock these down. I mean, you're talking about this building erupting. This is still a game. Even if he knocks both down, it's still a game, John.
And Gene hits the first. 10 seconds.
The question is, with Justice being out, Savage being out, two of their elite three-point shooters, even though number 11, Hollingsworth, just made one from half court. We'll see what they draw up.
A miss! Three-point game! No timeouts! Hollingsworth on a huge night to tie! Yes!
I told you, it's never over. Unbelievable college basketball at its finest. It ain't over till it's over. I love this game. I mean, you knew he was going to be the guy to take the shot. He just made one from the parking lot. Wow. You got to ask yourself, John, do you foul him? Right? Do you foul him? Do you make him go to the foul line? You talk about special situations. Kobe Williams, the freshman, no hand up. You make one thing you don't want to give him. You don't want to foul him. You don't give him a three. You force him to drive it. Wow, but he was going to shoot that regardless.
Career high 38. To put it in perspective, in his last 8 games, Hollingsworth was 3 of 15 from 3. He entered a 27% shooter. He's got 4 made triples and a career high 38. But out of Louisiana Tech's call timeout, 2.5 seconds, a chance to win.
Yes, they do. Get it up the floor, plenty of time, a catch, a dribble, and they'll get a shot up. Depends on if they can get the ball up the floor. They can run the baseline now.
After a make, Bracey, double, half-court heave, off the glass, and overtime arrives.
Unbelievable.
The Hilltoppers never knew a lead in regulation, trailed by as many as 14, and they roar back again to force free basketball.
That's why they play the game. Tavion Hollingsworth said it's not over. Up top and down. We got 5 more minutes.
Western Kentucky, trailed by as many as 17 points, has not known a lead still on the game, but they're in overtime.
They're in overtime, and they're just the comeback cardiac kids, and they've been put on the shoulders of number 11, Tavion Hollingsworth. He has been superb, fantastic. It's been a team effort. Obviously, there have been some miscues at the foul line by La Tech and not finishing off this game. And John, from the parking lot, this guy, Mr. Hollingsworth, he has earned it tonight.
38 points, a career night for Tavion Hollingsworth. St. Mary, Santa Clara, underway, now available. CBSSports.com/CBSSN. We'll get you out there soon as this one is over. So Western Kentucky, remember, in overtime, each team gets awarded a timeout. Team and individual fouls carry over. So Jared Savage has fouled out. Cam Justice has fouled out for an already ultra-thin Western Kentucky team. Jeremiah Gambrell, who plays 6 minutes a game, is in. And Day Bracey getting talked up by Eric Conkle.
I mean, ordinarily, I would be like advantage La Tech, but the way Hollingsworth is shooting the basketball, I don't know. I would trap him, make him give the ball up. Jordan Rawls or Gambrell is going to have to do something in this overtime. There's no way I'm going to let Tavion Hollingsworth take this overtime over.
Kobe Williams, Mo Muhammad, and Jacoby Pemberton with 4 fouls apiece for the Bulldogs, who have not lost a man due to a 5th foul yet. Bracey, open, 3-ball, no. Carson Williams and a foul on Mo Muhammad. And Muhammad is fouled out.
Coach Conkle not happy at all. He can't believe it. I think it was a good call. He came over his back. And John, this all started, remember, with the free throw. They missed the free throw. Muhammad fouled then. The senseless foul from 94 feet.
So here's another look, and remember, double bonus. Team fouls carry over, so Western Kentucky right back to the line with a chance to claim its first lead of the game.
Absolutely amazing.
From down 17, they have stormed back.
You got to give this crowd credit. They stayed They didn't leave, stayed behind the Hilltoppers, and they have been rewarded.
Pampered in the board. Hilltoppers made noise in the big dance. They had one of the biggest comebacks in tournament history in 2012. Down 16 with under 5 against Mississippi State. Tonight, down 17 under 6 against Louisiana Tech.
Unbelievable. Like I said, I was here for the Old Dominion comeback. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, what a follow and flush from Gordon. And the whistle. Count it, and a chance for an and one. Foul to Josh Anderson. That'll be his third.
Gordon just muscling his way through that jam, and give Archibald number 3 credit, getting to the rim on an advantage drive. No one there to box him out. Nothing they could do with that one.
A correction, that's the 4th on Anderson. So Anderson has 4. Savage and Justice is fouled out.
See what kind of action. The ball definitely is going through number 11. There's no doubt in my mind. 2-man game between he and number 22, Carson Williams.
Ball screen, Carson Williams rolls, contested jumper off Archibald, the rebound. And the Bulldogs have known some collapses, probably the most prominent last year in the quarterfinals of the Conference USA tournament against the eventual champs, Old Dominion. They blew a 7-point lead with a minute and a half to go. Anderson, furious slam!
What a game.
I guess it's fitting that bonus play brings with it overtime, right?
Oh, my God. I thought he had a toe problem.
Rick Stansberry was all out of sorts today. Hasn't practiced all week. First time he's gone. Don't know how he'll push off. He's pushed off brilliant.
My.
Kobe Williams. Archibald, the wraparound, trying to force it to Gordon. La Tech ball, 12 to shoot.
Good drive there by Gambrell, recovering. If not, that would have been a dunk. Archibald on the drive. They need these 2 freshmen, number 3 Rawls, number 10 Gambrell, to step up defensively for them.
Louisiana Tech has not won in this building in over 20 years.
You think they heard the whispers of it? I mean, man.
Bracey saw the double, splits it. And Anderson again! 1 second on the shot clock.
Where's the cape? I think the only thing we're missing is the cape. Coming out of nowhere. Wow.
Only 1 on the timer. Gene, the heave. Off target, Hilltopper ball, Anderson again. Each team armed with a timeout.
Who says there's no big-time basketball in Conference USA? America's being treated to a good one right now.
Rolls. Anderson, he's been the hot hand. And he gets hit and fouled.
ISO call. Got him on the pick-pop drive. Coach Stanberry, they're working on that today. Archibald, one of the few mistakes he's made since his toe is hurt. Can we call that toe jam?
I love you.
Oh, man, he is so athletic.
He became a starter when they lost Charles Bassey, the All-American, with a broken leg. And Anderson, battling his own very lighter ailment, has risen to the occasion with Bassey out for the campaign.
Next man up, that's what it takes.
Can the Bulldogs again respond? No Conference USA team has more road wins than Louisiana Tech.
John, if I'm La Tech, if I'm Coach Compo, number 25 is getting the basketball. He's got to make plays for us.
Kobe Williams has made plays all night. Ball screen, Gordon. Archibald opposite. Gene catched her on the leap. And the 3-ball.
Wow. How about that shot?
Big triple from Derek Jean.
Catch and shoot from the deep corner.
He's a veteran.
Yeah, how about that?
Tonight, his 135th game. He's been around.
Yes, he has.
Rolls wide open. Carson Williams off, and Louisiana Tech's got it with a 2-point lead.
Don, it seems like a prize fight. Someone's getting licks in. They're just trading shots.
Yeah, no sequined outfits, though. Kobe Williams slams on the brakes. Archibald, lead for Bracey. He's been quiet, wrapping around Anderson to the rim. Loses the ball. Gambrell rarely plays. He Euros and lays it home.
H-Town, the freshman with the Euro. What a game.
He averages 1.5 points a game. He's only in because Savage and Justice have fouled out.
You never know when your number's going to be called.
Hollingsworth for 40. And he draws the foul. This game is nuts.
This game is crazy. See if there's a foul here. Wow, he got that clean. I know Coach Conkle thought it was a foul. Josh Anderson have an imprint on this game, and Gambrell from my hometown, H-Town, doing his thing with a Euro, stepping up big when Coach Stansbury needs him to.
Foul to Bracey, his third. So Hollingsworth at the line. If he hits them both, he is the first 40-point game by a Hilltopper in 16 years.
So he's one of the best scorers that have worn this uniform on the Hilltop.
He's one of 3 former Kentucky Mr. Basketballs playing for Western Kentucky. Bracey goes off with a limp to the Louisiana Tech bench. Ledoux is back in, great shooter.
Yeah, he must really be hurt to come out because they need him right now, given what he did against North Texas. Ooh, wow, critical miss.
Louisiana Tech under a minute. Each team a timeout, double bonus, both teams.
I'm going to try to call this. Look for number 3 Archibald making a play to the rim.
Archibald flashes, gets fed. The whole crowd stomping. You can feel the vibration. Bad pass down the grain of the lane. Silly save, and somehow he finds Gambrell.
Still don't have to foul. Don't have to foul. West Kentucky has to shoot the basketball.
And there is a foul. They're going to foul Jordan Rawls, 69% shooter. Archibald is first. Shot clock turned off.
Tough one there. You got to feel bad for Kobe Williams. He's played great this entire game. Jumping in the air with nowhere to go, no plan. Turns the ball over. I thought they could have got the ball to number 3, Archibald, let him get a drive. He's the best free throw shooter. He gets to the rim or he would get fouled.
And Jordan Rawls, who had the best game of his career when these teams met on the 6th, just got his first point of the game, a chance to make it 3.
Now, if Western Kentucky pulls this off, how about this game? I mean, I would have sat here for 2 unbelievable comebacks.
Rawls, first points of the affair. Timeout, Western Kentucky. From down 17 to up 3, 28 seconds.
Brent Stover in New York, St. Mary's and Santa Clara underway and streaming live at CBSSports.com/CBSSN. Midway in the first half at Santa Clara at home, leading by 2, headed out there when things wrap up in Conference USA. Guys, back to you.
Western Kentucky, Louisiana Tech began the day tied for 2nd in the ultra-competitive Conference USA. Tonight, Louisiana Tech ballooned a lead as large as 17. Did not know a deficit in regulation. And here we are, overtime, 89-86. Western Kentucky has stormed back on the back of Tavion Hollingsworth. 39 points. It's Louisiana Tech ball out of a Western Kentucky call timeout. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for, again, to get the ball to number 25. He has that step-back jumper now. Again, he can get you off him with a step-back jumper. We'll see if he does it right away. Well, they're moving off the ball. Look like they're going right to him.
Do you foul him?
That would be a great option.
Archibald contested 2, untrue, and the putback is there. Well timed by Oliver Powell. It's back to 1, and Louisiana Tech calls the first overtimes. Last time out. Back in Bowling Green, Louisiana Tech got the 2 from their big Oliver Powell.
This is what I thought they should have done before. Drive Archibald. He's really good at getting to the rim, or they'll call a foul. They have to help. Tavion can't box out the big fella. He gets the putback.
18.2. Each team has exhausted its timeouts. Double bonus both teams.
You don't want Hollingsworth to get the basketball. If you trap it, don't foul him. Make someone else have to make a free throw.
Hollingsworth able to handle. The foul comes from Pemberton, who would just sub back in. And Jacoby Pemberton is fouled out with 12.3 to go.
Yeah, that was the one guy you did want to get the basketball. One of the best foul shooters in the league.
So Bracy will come back in. Now Hollingsworth at the line. So they're going to sub Powell back in, take Kobe Williams out. Even if he hits them both,
they still got a chance.
Right.
Again, I'm waiting for Bracy to have that Superman Mighty Mouse type effort at the end of the North Texas game where he was just absolutely unstoppable. We haven't seen that tonight from 3, but he's certainly capable.
40 points for Tavion Hollingsworth. The first 40-point showing by a Hilltopper since 2004.
Unbelievable.
For big breathing room to make it 3. Clutch. No timeouts, 12.3. And they foul Bracy. That's a smart move.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hollingsworth has his first. Not a big deal. You're already in double bonus, so now you're putting a 53% free throw shooter at the line. And we asked Eric Conkle, has any team done this? Has any team been in an up 3, up 2 situation and fouled Bracy? He said no.
And here's the deal. Does he make him this part of the game?
Right.
That's the question. Or is this something that happens earlier in the game? And he makes the first one, you know? Still, listen, here's the deal. Still plenty of time. If he makes this, they still have to inbound the ball. You cannot let the ball get to number 11. No matter what, make someone else go to that foul line.
Well, Hollingsworth is on the inside of Louisiana Tech's biggest man on the floor, Oliver Powell. Kobe Williams to the table. Bracy, 53% free throw shooter. Misses back end. Rebound to Hollingsworth. He gets fouled, 9.6. That's exactly what you said can happen.
Yeah, sometimes. Rich Stansberry calling his group over, giving them instruction. They pulled this one off. What a game. This crowd was treated to an amazing game. If you went home early, shame on you.
So back to the line. It's something that by design, Western Kentucky does incredibly well.
Still has to make them.
Converts.
John, as crazy as it seems, even if he makes this, I would probably, the coach is right, put Bracy at the end of the court. There's still a chance. There's guys that can dribble the ball up with 5 seconds. There will be 4 seconds left.
He hits. 2-possession game. Just don't foul a 3-point shooter. Archibald snaps it to Bracy. Bracy, 3-ball off balance. No, Ledoux put back. 1.9. No timeouts. Rawls fouled 1.2. Western Kentucky was down 17 points with 5:51 to go. Did not lead in regulation. And Rick Stansberry, on the heels of his first home league loss, is looking at one of the biggest comeback games in a year of comeback games.
One of the better games I've seen all season long in the entire country. Got to finish him off, though.
Rawls hits.
Freshman.
Western Kentucky has come back to win in 7 of its 11 league wins from second-half deficits.
Coach Stansberry is fired up. He said, this is not over.
Two-possession game again.
Unbelievable.
Baseball pass. Tipped. Western Kentucky completes the comeback from 17 down on the back of Tavion Hollingsworth on senior night. A 95-91 thriller, and that sets up a biggie when one meets two here on CBS Sports Network on Sunday and the Hilltoppers' journey to North Texas. Our final score, Western Kentucky 95, Louisiana Tech 91, and an overtime thriller. Now to Jason Horowitz, Ryan Hollins. It's more college hoops. St. Mary's, Santa Clara. So long from Bowling Green.